I'm Jason Christie. This is the last cast with Get Limit Outdoors. You know, one of the questions that I get asked a lot for some reason is about my spinnerbaits, and I spend a lot of time throwing a spinnerbait kind of like a jerkbait, and I feel like even though it's simple, some guys put too much into it. You know, as far as choosing the spinnerbait, there's really only 2 or 3 that I throw all year. But I'll show you some of the variations and what you probably need to be throwing. You know, if I pre-spawn and around dirty water, there's just something about a big vibration before the spawn. I think it makes the bigger ones bite. And I tend, a lot of times in the pre-spawn, I just throw a single colerade. That's the most simple spinnerbait there is. You know, whenever I won at Hartwell on a spinnerbait, that's what I was throwing, was a single colerade. But I use this spinnerbait, like I said, pre-spawn. And if the water's really dirty, you just want a lot of vibration. You just have to imagine that fish can't see that well, so you want a lot of vibration. And that's, you know, that's the spinnerbait. That's just a 1/2 ounce booyah single colerade. And as far as colors, I think colors are really your preference. I really don't think it matters a lot. You know, chartreuse and white's always been good for me. Really, chartreuse and white and a shad color and a black is about all I throw. You can look at my spinnerbait box, but you know, that's what I would throw pre-spawn. Let's say that the water, I get there and the water's quite a bit clearer, you know, and that spinnerbait, whenever you're reeling it, just doesn't look right. You know, that's whenever I'd go to more of a shad color and probably a Willowleaf. You know, that fish can see my bait. He doesn't have to have a lot of vibration to get his attention. You know, that's whenever I would go probably to this combination. You know, Willowleaf, it's gonna let off a little vibration, but not as much. It's gonna let off a lot more flash, and they're gonna be able to see it. This is also like a bait I would throw in the summertime, you know, over grass or something like that. It's all about visibility. If the fish has good visibility most of the time, you want Willowleaf, something that's streamlined and goes pretty quick. You know, you can get a reaction by it. You don't want them to get too good of a look at it. You know, here's kind of the same thing. You know, just imagine the water's still kind of cold, not really good watercolor. You can probably see 1.5 foot. This would be a spinnerbait that I would throw. You know, tandem. This is one that's going to have a little different vibration, and it's kind of unique, but it's still going to get their attention. It's not going to have the vibration like this spinnerbait, this single colerade, but it is going to have some. The thing about this spinnerbait is, these two, if I'm fishing around cover, bushes, logs, or something like that, these spinnerbaits are going to lift with not a lot of reel power. I can keep that spinnerbait up above and I'm not going to get hung up. If I'm just going down the bank or fishing over grass, you know, a Willowleaf will get down a little faster and get closer to them. But if I'm fishing dirtier water or around, you know, like I said, laydowns, something where I want to lift that spinnerbait up, I want to choose coleradas. Coleradas is just a natural, I can reel it not very fast and it's going to lift itself up and go slower. This here, you know, painted blades. This is actually like a spinnerbait that I would burn. I use this spinnerbait a lot on 10 killer. There's something about smallmouth. They like painted blades, and this spinnerbait here, I can make it, it's a 1/2 ounce. I can throw it a long ways, and I put it on a 7-to-1 lose and I just burn it. And they see it, they come get it, and you know, that's pretty much the basic spinnerbait I use. You know, 6/8 Jason Christie series spinnerbait rod. I think a lot of people are going overboard on the length of rod. On a spinnerbait, I still like a shorter rod where I can flip it and things like that. Now, if I was going to falconing, had a chance to catch 7, 8, 9 pounders, I'd probably put it on a 7 foot, a little bit heavier. But I usually always throw 20-pound sniper Sunline Flourocarbon, and for some reason I still use a 5-to-1 on a spinnerbait reel. This is just a Lew's Super Duty. I use a 5-to-1 just because it feels better. I feel like 6-to-1, I'm just going too fast. I'm fighting the spinnerbait. So with the 5-to-1, I can reel as fast as I want. The only time I go up is like a 7-to-1 if I'm fishing for smallmouth and really burning it. But that's the only case that I use a 5-to-1 other than cranking is a spinnerbait. But that's my spinnerbait setup. These are pretty much, there's a shad color. That's one that I would throw, you know, burning it in clear water. And that's pretty much the how-to on the spinnerbait, selecting the spinnerbaits. Just remember, Willowleaf's going to let you get a little deeper, go a little faster, and the colerade is going to put off a lot more vibration and have a lot more lift. I hope this lets you catch more fish. This is Jason Christie, The Last Cast.
Get a Limit Outdoors, sponsored by Rigid Industries LED lighting, Cigar, always the best, Legend Boats, Scent Lock, Hills Marine, Muddy Outdoors, Brothers in Arms Game Calls, Low Rants, Find, Navigate, Dominate,